our mission is to share the love of Christ in word and deed by nurturing relationships leading to sustainable livelihoods. And we are pleased to report that the seed of global mission that was planted by Bishop Joe has been faithfully nurtured as we develop partnerships with Twik East, South Sudan, and the Dominican Republic. A spiritual movement of love and compassion from across the state shall bind us as one with our companion partners. May 2010 marked our first great action in sharing Christ's unconditional love, and it was at this meeting that the transformational power of Christ's love led us to support a resolution for companion partnership, which will be presented shortly. This action followed a life-changing exploratory mission to the DR. An assessment mission to Twik East was sadly canceled this year due to flooding. A second landmark meeting occurred just this past Saturday when Bishop Ezekiel addressed the committee. Bishop Ezekiel's powerful message was the same as Deacon Manuel, which was shared with us near the Dominican border with Haiti. We are linked together as Christians to bring about physical changes as well as spiritual. We believe in the power of shared experience. It is only through the formation of relationships with others that Christ's love in His community can be shared. Mission efforts will be focused by the priorities set by our partnering bishops. Several immediate and pressing needs have been identified both in the DR and in Twik East, and we will work to address these needs starting in 2011. We were not placed here at this time to merely exist. God has brought us here to change the world, and change is greatly needed. We begin by inspiring hearts to open so that they may be filled with compassion. With this compassion, lives can be changed forever. Important information regarding global mission opportunities will be disseminated through our weekly ministry memo and on the internet page that we are in the process of developing. God calls each of us. The Global Mission Committee is a diocesan-wide resource available to all. In 2011, the diocese will offer both adult and youth missions opportunities. Parishes also offer opportunities to serve. In fact, St. Andrew's just returned from an incredibly rewarding experience at St. Esteban School. Service opportunities are available for everyone's participation. Matthew 25 reminds us that when we act in service to another, we are also serving Christ. This important verse puts no qualifications upon our ability to serve. We are not told we have to be young and strong, and we are not told we have to travel to a foreign land. There are many things we can do to communicate hope around the world from right here in Nebraska. Waters of Hope, Cycling for Sudan, Project Education Sudan, the Project Mosquito Netting, they're all examples. And Project Hummingbird, Kaleo Kids, and the Altar Cloth Project supports the work in the DR from right here at home. Everyone is encouraged to participate in God's plan for building relationships around the world. It was at this meeting with Bishop Ezekiel that the seeds of global community were planted in the South Sudan. From that day and from thousands of miles away, we have continued to build community by building relationship. Today, we again gather to nurture this relationship so that someday soon we can plant crops for the first time, complete the girls' school in Wambale, a medical clinic in Mar, and an elementary school in Dong Paloy. Got a little ahead of the game there. At a meeting that's going to be taking place right there. Bishop Ogin shared his dreams for his church and his country with us. Our focus, our efforts, and our roots have all been firmly planted in the awe-inspiring, predominantly rural northern deanery of the Dominican Republic. Church construction, microeconomic projects, children's shelters, school improvements, and scholarships are but a few of the dreams we now share together.
We recognize that not all need is a world away. It's sometimes right in our own backyard. And that's why over the last 2 years, youth from our diocese has completed several service projects at the Rosebud Indian Reservation in an effort to help improve the quality of life and worship for many of the people there. Along the way, they've provided meals for youth, vacation Bible school, and a lot of fellowship. And another thing has happened, they've shared the grace of God revealed to them through the kids that they encounter. Our annual youth trip to South Dakota is a perfect example how a growing relationship in which Christ's love is shared is begun to make a difference in the lives of all of those that are involved. The success we enjoy is in building understanding, relationships, and trust. In early 2009, a team from Nebraska traveled to Twin East, and while there they met with Bishop Ezekiel to talk about mission needs and priorities in that region. And out of that discussion came a UTO grant that helped enable the diocese to build a middle school for the girls in Wangelai. And with the successful efforts of the Waters of Hope bicycle tour, we're able to strengthen that relationship by helping them drill a water well at that school. It's known that education is the key to breaking extreme poverty, and in the DR, the kids know this. In fact, we learned last May that many of these kids would almost rather spend a day in a sweltering classroom just to have a chance than almost anywhere else in the world. Thanks to the foresight of Bishop Boudin and the Episcopal Church, the Episcopal schools there are growing because of their wonderful reputation for a good education. Given the level of growth that these schools have seen, it's become increasingly difficult to provide a quality education for all the kids who are in need. It costs about $300 a year to send one kid through school. Now to you and I that doesn't seem like much, but to the average Dominican who makes $9 a day, that's a month's salary. And as always, there's not enough money to go around. The people in South Sudan know this too, and during their meeting in Don Ploy, under the shade tree in the middle of a field pasture, that community said that one of their greatest needs was schools and teachers. And while there, the team noticed the great fertile ground of the Nile Delta, and with tools, they said they could develop it. Unfortunately, getting tools and equipment there are costly and difficult. Equally difficult is getting good teachers into the far country. The best educations are found in the cities, and as a result, it comes at a higher cost. It's $650 a year to house and educate a child there. And with the help of parishes here in Nebraska, we've provided some scholarship money to families in need. The grim fact of life is that around every corner, we're going to find someone in need. People struggle each and every day to provide the basics that we take for granted. And it's not true of only their physical needs, but their spiritual needs too. Along the Dominican and Haitian border, we visited a community that all they wanted was a pole church, a pole building that they could call their church. Matthew 25 does tell us a story about a king who was asked, "When did we see you hungry, thirsty, and in need?" And his answer was, "What you did not do to the least of these, you did not do to me." While we can't do it for everyone, everywhere, we can reach out when and where we can. And as a result, we have several trips planned for 2011, both to the Dominican and peace and weather providing to the Sudan. All Saints is heading up a couple of trips next summer, as is the Youth Outreach Program. All of these trips are going to focus on different projects, but one thing they share is in the team members' willingness to enter into lasting relationships. Thank you.
And it all starts with one brick. One brick placed upon another, and then another, and then all of a sudden there's a school, or there's a church, or there's a shelter, or a clinic. One brick at a time, we are asked to build God's kingdom here on earth. It starts with us. It occurs in our churches, it occurs in our homes, but it must start in our hearts. And as I look around this group today, I can see that it's already started here at Andrew Council. The future for us looks as bright as those beautiful brown eyes. I'm sorry, when I see those beautiful brown eyes, I gotta catch my breath. But together, we can even form interdiocesan relationships that will multiply our mutual gift sharing, thus making our community here in Nebraska stronger. Now let's join hands and set off to wherever God leads us. The Global Mission Team invites everyone to explore the many ways we might become involved to support global mission initiatives of our diocese.